The stars above Earth were a calm, tranquil spectacle, but beneath the serene night sky, humanity faced its greatest challenge. The alien fleet, a vast armada of towering ships from an unknown galaxy, hovered above Earth. Their purpose was clear. They had come to subjugate the planet, to erase humanity from existence. The invaders were a race known as the Zerothians, colossal beings made of living metal, their bodies resembling vast, living warships, capable of destruction beyond imagination. For millennia, they had scoured the cosmos, enslaving weaker civilizations, devouring entire worlds. Earth was their next target. But what the Zerothians had not counted on was the Earth's ultimate weapon, one human, a man known simply as Victor Brand. Victor had been born under extraordinary circumstances, raised in the deepest, most isolated corners of Earth's most dangerous environments. He was forged in conditions that pushed the limits of human endurance. Trained in every martial discipline, skilled in advanced technologies, and enhanced by experiments that defied nature, Victor was Earth's strongest human. But more than that, he was humanity's last hope. As the alien fleet descended upon Earth, Victor stood alone on the barren plains of Mongolia, watching the dark shapes of the ships block out the stars. He felt the pulse of Earth beneath his feet, the planet's very heart, and knew that this would be the day to make history. The first of the Zerothian ships descended, its colossal metallic hull gleaming like an ocean of dark steel. The ground trembled as the alien vessels anchored themselves above the Earth. A giant reptilian figure, its glowing blue eyes casting an eerie light, teleported down to the surface, standing before Victor. "I am Raxner, leader of the Zerothian fleet," the alien's voice boomed, vibrating the air itself. "You are nothing but a fleeting speck in the face of our power. Surrender or face extinction." Victor didn't flinch. His expression remained unchanged as he sized up the invader. Every fiber of his being was ready. He had trained for this moment, honed for years to take on the impossible. "You've made a mistake," Victor replied, his voice low but filled with an unshakable confidence. "I'm not your enemy's weakness. I am Earth's strength." Raxner's eyes narrowed, confused by the defiance. "You think you can stop us? We have the power to level entire civilizations with a flick of our wrist. You will perish like all the others." Victor cracked his knuckles, that assumed a battle stance so precise, it seemed as if the very laws of physics bent around him. "I'm not the one who's going to perish." With a roar that echoed across the plains, Raxner lunged forward, his enormous claws extended to strike. The ground beneath him cracked, and his mass shattered the air with the force of a falling meteor. But Victor moved faster than the alien could track. He darted forward, his body a blur of motion, and with a single strike, he shattered the creature's wrist, sending it crashing to the ground. Raxnor howled in pain as Victor stood over him, ready to strike again. The alien's glowing blue eyes turned to slits as he reached for his communicator. "Fleet, attack," he ordered, his voice tinged with desperation. In an instant, the skies above darkened further as the Zerothian fleet unleashed hell. Their weapons fired beams of energy so potent they could burn entire cities to ash in seconds. The very air around Earth shimmered with the force of their onslaught. But Victor was ready. His enhanced reflexes allowed him to dodge the first barrage effortlessly. With a single thought, he activated his own personal shield, a force field constructed from a combination of alien technology and his own mind. The beams crashed against the shield, causing the air to crackle and vibrate, but it held firm. The alien ships could not touch him. With a snarl, Victor launched himself into the air, defying gravity with his enhanced strength. He rocketed toward the nearest alien ship, his fist crackling with concentrated energy. He punched the hull, and with a sound like 1,000 thunderclaps, the ship split in two, sending debris scattering across the sky. The fleet responded in kind, sending hundreds of ships to encircle Victor, but he was faster than they could react, moving through the space between them with the precision of a predator. One by one, he destroyed their weapons and shields, turning their own technology against them. The Zerothian fleet was in chaos. Ships fell like leaves in a storm, and their once proud armada began to crumble under Victor's relentless assault. The once mighty invaders now found themselves fleeing before a single human warrior. As the battle raged on, Victor moved with calculated fury. His body had become a blur of motion, a living weapon capable of taking down any adversary. The invaders underestimated Earth, underestimated humanity. But they would learn quickly that humanity was not to be trifled with. Raxner, recovering from the pain of his defeat at Victor's hands, called for reinforcements, but it was too late. Victor was already inside the largest of the Zerothian warships, a metal giant designed to be the flagship of the fleet. The alien soldiers that stood in his way were no match for him. He tore through them with brutal efficiency, smashing through the walls of the ship until he reached its control center. Raxner stood there, ready for one final confrontation. "You will not win," he sneered, as he powered up the ship's self-destruct sequence. Victor didn't respond with words. He launched himself at Raxner, fists flying with the power of 1,000 storms. The alien leader fought back, but it was clear his strength was nothing compared to Victor's. With a single devastating punch, Victor shattered Raxner's body, sending him flying across the control room. The ship's self-destruct countdown began, but Victor was already out of the blast zone. He had secured Earth's future. As the Zerothian fleet burned in the sky, falling apart in pieces, Victor landed back on Earth. The alien threat was no more. Humanity had triumphed. The Earth's strongest human had won. And from that day forward, the name Victor Brand would be spoken with awe and respect across the universe. The strongest human to ever live, the one who saved Earth against an entire alien fleet.